This time, on Monkey Thieves. Queen Rani hits the end of the line when she finally comes face to face with arch-enemy Zamir. Bipin and the splinter troop lap up the good life until a group of rivals darken their door. And Jaipur's wedding season explodes with passion. But will wedding bells ring for a Galta Gang groom? In Jaipur, northwestern India, one rhesus macaque is ready to throw in the towel. Queen Rani has recently been evicted from her temple home. Seeing her partner Kamal captured and carted away. And to top it off, yesterday, her youngest son TJ died following a tragic accident. Rani now searches for scraps of food down derelict back streets. But hunger is way down on her current list of worries. Her troop of 40 followers aren't just homeless. With Kamal out of the picture, they're leaderless too. Their king is gone. And judging by the looks Rani now receives, the Galta Gang girls could soon decide to elect a new queen too. The royal ruler's life is a living nightmare. Two blocks away, another problem prowls the streets. Galta Gang renegade Zamir has been searching for his old troop for the past week. He's already caught a glimpse of Rani, but got thrown off track after Dana Lal, the city's monkey catcher, interrupted his reunion mission. Suddenly, something causes a pause in the crafty macaque's quest. A clatter of cans catches Zamir's attention. He recognizes the silver containers. They littered the farms he raided after he was deported to the countryside. And Zamir cannot forget the thirst-quenching, stomach-satiating nectar the huge vessels hold. Every day, up to 3,000 litres of milk arrives at this wholesale market from surrounding villages, up to 40 kilometres away. Deliveries turn up early morning and late afternoon, matching the cow's milking needs. Milkmen, or doodwallers, from all over the city collect their delivery quota, supplying wholesale to sweet makers, tea stands, as well as private households. Zamir's mouth waters as he watches a trader test the fat content of this particular batch. Dipping fingers into unpasteurized milk is a standard way to test the quality. The more milk that sticks, the higher fat content. And with higher fat comes a higher price. Zamir doesn't pay for anything. But getting to sample these sellers' supplies without being spotted could be pushing it. Milkmen load up their cycles and begin their delivery rounds. Zamir stops drooling and continues his search for Rani. He's convinced she's close, It's just a matter of time until he catches up with his old queen, once and for all. On the other side of town, teenagers Bipin, Yash, Tito, and the rest of the splinter troop have their new world sorted. They've set up shop in a new territory, right in the heart of Jaipur, after being kicked out of the temple by Rani and the Galta Gang hierarchy. Just a mere glance over the ledge of their new fruit market home is enough to bring all kinds of treats hurled up to them. The traders know that by giving the monkeys the slightly out-of-date fruit, they'll hopefully leave the good and more saleable stuff well alone. Well, that's the idea. But unfortunately, no plan is 100% monkey-proof in this city, as little Dimple demonstrates on a daily basis. She still prefers the thrill of the ambush, as do many of the youngsters. Every one of the gang gets more than their 5 a day. The market offers one of the healthiest monkey menus in the entire city. Dimple can't get enough of the more sugary delights. She satisfies her sweet tooth with mouthfuls of mango. Carrots and parsnips are way down her licking list. The traders only tolerate so much. Pilfering primates affect their profits. One slip, and Dimple could be dining with disaster. In a quiet back street, Rani's situation goes from bad to worse. The bachelor boys are back. And this time, the wily troop of renegades can see Rani and her sisters are without their former alpha male and protector. The Wanderers have one goal in mind: infiltrate this troop and work their way up the hierarchy. Several of the girls welcome the bachelor's advances. Flashing your bum and raising your tail is Lady Macaque talk for come up and see me sometime. Rani is unimpressed by the quality of these potential suitors. But if her sisters don't offer her support when fending off the boys, the lower-ranking girls in her troop might question her status. This could spell disaster for Rani. Should she fail to maintain her authority as queen, she may be attacked by the subordinate females and suddenly end up at the bottom of the hierarchy pile. The bachelors move forwards. Rani's regal role hangs by a thread. Back at the Splinter Troop's market, it's time to relax after a hard morning's work, filling their stomachs. There's nothing better than a good old massage to reaffirm social bonds and help digest yet another belly-bursting breakfast. Grooming not only keeps parasites at bay, it also provides a general detangle and a daily dusting down. But Bipin can't unwind. He knows Rani and the other half of his old troop are still searching for a new base. The Splinter Troop have already averted one takeover, And to make matters worse, their arch-enemy Zamir also prowls the local pavements. Splinter troop leader Devdan keeps a keen lookout for danger. A prime patch of turf like this is always open to an unannounced invasion. Cornered down a back street, Rani sees nothing but strange males closing in. The rest of her gang show little signs of resistance and appear too preoccupied to offer her support should she attempt to fend off the bachelor's advances. Some of the troop's girls sidle up to the rowdy Romeos, hoping to gain favor with them before things get rough. Any one of these guys could end up leading their gang through either romance or pure brute force. Rani can do nothing but watch. Her grip on power looks shaky. Now there's no alpha male to see off the strangers. The Queen avoids eye contact and looks away as the biggest member of the male mob strides confidently towards her. But as she turns, Rani suddenly recognizes an even larger male heading her way. A face she never expected or wanted to see again. Zamir. Bigger and stronger than every one of the boisterous bachelor louts, he launches himself straight after their leader. At 10 years of age, Zamir is at his physical peak. The bachelors look completely outclassed by the infamous macaque heavyweight. The menacing males eventually scarper. They seem to know Zamir would beat each and every one of them hands down. The dust finally settles. Rani freezes as she awaits Zamir's next move. But it's soon clear that the big bruiser just saved her day. Zamir keeps his distance. He's never been in Rani's good books and knows from experience she has a fiery temper. Rani looks shell-shocked, as do the rest of her troop. It's been 8 months since they last set eyes upon their former gang member. But they'll never forget his violent outbursts and numerous takeover attempts. For once, Rani seems buoyed by Zamir's muscle man presence. Her prospects suddenly look a whole lot better. The ambitious queen shuffles closer and rewards her savior with some intimate grooming. With a powerful man like Zamir by her side, anything is possible. It's mid-afternoon, The splinter group wind up their grooming session and focus their minds on what the market offers for tea. Bipin suddenly spots an all-too familiar face again. His old queen, Rani. She's back, following her failed attempt at trying to muscle in on their territory. Only this time, there's no sign of a former limp leader, Kamal. Instead, a much bigger threat looms. Zamir. A face every member of the splinter group fears. Rani edges towards Devdan and Jaya, the splinter troop's leading couple. Devdan is unsure what to do. He knows he's no match for Zamir. But if he wants to retain control of his territory, he has no choice but to stand his ground. Bipin appears stunned. He never thought he'd ever see Rani and Zamir standing side by side. Rani looks back to Zamir, urging him on to launch the first attack. But the loved-up bruiser seems suddenly distracted. Finally, Zamir makes his move and turns tail. He's spotted meals on wheels, so abandons the assault. Most of Rani's troop follows Amir's lead. The gang's queen has no choice but to do the same. She ditches her takeover bid and vacates the market. Bipin and the rest of the splinter group breathe a massive sigh of relief. Luck is on their side. For now, at least. A block away from the market, milkman Hanuman Gujar is on his late afternoon delivery round. He's already covered over 25 kilometers, heading back to base each time his 12-liter churns run dry. It's his 10th and final journey of the day, after which he'll take time out to pay respects to his namesake, Hanuman, the much-loved Hindu monkey god. The tire trader calls in on a customer. Little does he know, he's got company. This is what caught Zamir's eye back at the Splinter Troops market. Churns full of milk. And this time, there's just one person protecting them. Hanuman moves on, and Zamir follows. It's a thirst-quenching opportunity any macaque worth its salt would lap up. Rani and the rest of the gang lock on to Zamir's mission. Using rooftops and the network of cables to keep up with their target. Hanuman parks his bike and calls in on his final customer of the day. The coast looks clear. Mission cow juice is go. Zamir leaps straight into action. And it's more a case of cheers rather than tears when the fat-loaded fluid comes flowing out. Milk not only quenches the gang's thirst, It's also full of calcium and much-needed minerals. In no time, the whole troop are rehydrated and re-energized. Street dogs also capitalize on Zamir's milky mission. Until a familiar sound echoes throughout the streets. It's the chilling chug of the city monkey catcher's van. Zamir abandons the churns and leads Rani and her troop down a back street away from danger. Canines can carry the can for this mess. In the center of town, a party is in full swing. It's Jaipur's wedding season, and when couples tie the knot in this part of the world, everyone knows about it. Individual ceremonies range from just a few hours to several days, with some guest lists including entire villages, alongside family and friends. One groom rides high on a procession to meet his bride, while across the street, another suitor leads his prospective partner to a banquet that rivals any wedding breakfast, in monkey terms at least. Zamir watches guard as Rani and her troop tuck into the delights of Jaipur's central fruit market. This territory is already taken, and it would be a lethal mistake entering the compound by day. But Fang, the macaque heavyweight owner of this turf, is already tucked up in bed. So the Galta Gang capitalize on the late-night trading. Rani's youngest daughter, Isha, isn't convinced the gang are entirely safe here. So she dons a disguise that, well, anyone can see through. The happy human couple exchange garlands and contemplate their future together. While Rani's mind works overtime. Zamir has not only saved her crown, he's defended her troop from danger and fed the entire family twice over. The Galta Gang's queen is indebted to her former enemy. Zamir also appears happy. Now he's swapped rioting for romance. At last, he has his bride and control of his old troop. The only thing missing, a place for them to call home. On that point, Zamir's mission isn't over just yet. It's looking like sparks could fly at his former temple home tomorrow. Next time on Monkey Thieves, Zamir wins further favor as he strikes gold on another meal mission. Abandoned babies prepare for release, but charity workers face a tough decision. And the Galta Gang finally challenge for control of their former home. But at a price none of them were prepared to pay.